What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, legendary, former 4 Division world champion, iconic superstar boxer, Roy Jones Jr. does an interview in which he's promoting his upcoming legendary showdown with former undisputed heavyweight world champion, superstar, iconic boxer, Iron Mike Tyson, November 28th. With that said, this fight is scheduled to take place in Los Angeles, California. It's an exhibition bout. It's 2-minute rounds for 8 rounds. With that said, Roy Jones expressed his concerns, or dare I say, he just raising a red flag. Roy Jones Jr. states that this is a very dangerous fight for him. Yes, it's labeled exhibition, but when you step in the ring with a guy that's ferocious as Iron Mike Tyson, you are absolutely putting it all on the line. So Roy Jones is stating that this is a situation where he could seriously get hurt. He says, I could get killed getting in there with Mike Tyson. He says, you can get hurt in any sport, but this sport with Mike Tyson, it just raises the stakes. So he says that, but because he's a warrior and because he is who he is, he says that he would be perfectly happy with that outcome due to the fact that he is doing what he loves. He says, this is what I signed up for. This is, he says, there's other ways that I could choose that I would much rather go out. He said, but to go out this way against Mike Tyson would be an absolute honor. Wow. So Roy Jones, as of lately, has been expressing, and explaining how much of a concerns he has with stepping in the ring with Mike Tyson. At one point in time, he even stated that maybe he made a mistake by signing his contract and agreeing to this fight. Roy Jones made one appearance at heavyweight when he faced John Ruiz, and he was successful, and he created history, right? Roy Jones is not a career heavyweight. He's a career light heavyweight, super middleweight, and junior middleweight. 154, 160, 168, 175 is his main stakes, right? That's where he staked his claims. That's where he planted his flag. Now, he did go up to heavyweight and win a world title. So he's a world champion in these weight classes. But like I stated, he hasn't campaigned in these weight classes. He just, in the heavyweight class, he just made an appearance in the heavyweight division. Iron Mike Tyson is a career heavyweight. He made no appearances in no other weight. That's the weight he campaigns in. That's the weight he's used to moving. That's the weight he's comfortable at. Roy Jones is not comfortable at heavyweight. He packed on a lot of muscle just for history, for his legacy, and he went up to heavyweight, challenged Ruiz, and won the world title. But he did that for legacy. That was one appearance. He did not campaign in that division. So Roy Jones is not a natural big guy. Mike Tyson is. Mike Tyson knows how to handle himself with bigger guys. Mike Tyson was always the smaller guy when he stepped in the ring because of his stature. He's only about 5'10", 5'11". Most heavyweights are 6'1", 6'2", and above. So Mike Tyson, as far as height-wise, he always had a disadvantage. But as far as size, he was never at a disadvantage. He wasn't the heaviest heavyweight, but he's a big guy, right? Very muscular, very, short and compact. So he knows how to deal with, big guys. He knows how to cut off the ring. He still has a lot of ferocious, explosive punching power, as you see in his training videos. So Mike Tyson is still a natural puncher. He's still heavy-handed. The last thing to go in the sport of boxing is your punching power. Now, your reflexes may fade, your speed may fade, your foot speed may fade. Your power is still going to somewhat be there. And you have muscle memory as far as combinations. So with that said, Mike Tyson hasn't forgotten how to punch. Mike Tyson hasn't forgotten how to throw knockout punches. And so this is a concern for Roy Jones, who's relied majority of his career on his speed, reflexes, and endurance, and his foot speed, and his natural athletic ability, which has long ago faded, right? So he doesn't have what it takes to stage off Mike Tyson. Roy Jones doesn't have the reflexes to react to what Mike Tyson is doing. So there's no doubt that Mike Tyson is going to land big punches on Roy Jones. even though they're wearing big gloves, and I'm not sure if they're going to wear headgear. There's a lot of rule changes, but Roy Jones pointed to the rules being in favor of Mike Tyson. He said that this is all a ploy for them to continue to promote Mike Tyson long after this fight. Mike Tyson's current trainer just came out today and stated that this is just, a stepping stone to at least 3 more big fights in Mike Tyson's career that have implications on the ranking system. So this is just an exhibition. Pretty much is like preseason, right? It's to get Mike Tyson feet wet. It's to get him back used to being in the ring, and what better to be in the ring with somebody who's agile and mobile. Now, he's not the most agile guy he used to be, but he still is going to. That's still his style. Roy Jones is to utilize the ring. So Mike Tyson is gonna. It's practice for Mike Tyson to be able to prepare himself to get back in the ranking system. We see guys like legendary former multi-division world champion Bernard Hopkins feeling like Mike Tyson could be heavyweight world champion again. Roy Jones himself said that Mike Tyson, with a 6 month serious training camp, could definitely be a major player in the heavyweight division. You get a lot of people that feel this way. Even at the tender age of 54, people feel like Mike Tyson still has what it takes to be a contender, a heavyweight world champion today's time, even after such a long, extensive layoff. There's a lot of myth surrounding Mike Tyson, right? Mike Tyson was one of those names that just, rung bells in the sport of boxing and just sports in general, right? He was considered the baddest man on the planet at one point in time. So Mike Tyson carries around a certain aura. And with that, there's a lot of people that believe that he still could do and be what he used to be, just if not, just in short spurts, right? Mike Tyson still has the power. Do I think that Mike Tyson could compete with the upper echelon in the heavyweight division today's time, the Deontay Wilders, the Anthony Joshuas, the Tyson Furies of the world? I do not. Because what you see Mike Tyson do on the pads at 54 years old, those pads are not responding back to Mike Tyson. Those pads are not moving around. Those pads are not punching back, right? And those pads are not moving targets. They're stationary targets. Yeah, at the time you move the pads to have reaction drills, but it's not like a actual human being in there moving around. You can't predict which way they go, which movement they're going to use, what angle they're going to use, and endurance comes into play. So I just can't see Mike Tyson competing with those guys. Can he even compete with the next level of heavyweights? I find that hard to do. I don't think that he could withstand a fight, maybe 4 rounds with Alexander Povetkin, Dillian White, Derek Chisora, Oleksandr Usyk. He can't. I don't see Andy Ruiz, Luis Ortiz. These guys, I believe that Mike Tyson will be in serious danger if he steps in the ring with these guys at 54 years old. But like I said, his name on the paper and his name is going to have a lot of people believe when you match his name against somebody that is not on the level of his name or in his past history, people are going to believe that Mike Tyson can win that fight. So it's a draw. It's selling. You're going to bring in a lot of revenue. You can sell it. You can promote it. And so with that said, that's what Roy Jones is hinting at when Roy Jones says that all of the rules are tailored to Mike Tyson to be successful. They tipped in Mike Tyson's favor. So like I stated, a lot of people believe that Mike Tyson can still compete and be a world champion. And imagine the buzz that would create if Mike Tyson was to actually get in the ring with Wilder, Joshua, or Fury and win the fight. Imagine what that would be. That would shake up the sporting world, not just the boxing world, but sporting overall, right? That would be plastered everywhere. The promotion, the exposure the sport of boxing would get if Mike Tyson at 54 years old wins a world title. And see, there's a flip side to that, because then that goes to show the level of competition that exists in the sport of boxing. Mike Tyson could get up off his couch, off his podcast at 54 years old, start training, get back in shape, and actually win a world title against these guys. It's going to water down this era's heavyweights, because there's no way that should be possible, right? Muhammad Ali couldn't do that. Mike Tyson don't have the skill set of Muhammad Ali. But like I said, he does have the power. We saw George Foreman come back winning world title at 45 years of age and things of that nature when he knocked out Michael Moore. So we saw Bernard Hopkins fight nearly till he was 50. 50 years old, but he never took a 15-year hiatus. Mike Tyson, last time we see him, he lost 3 of his last 4 fights. He was knocked out in a few of them. And, you know, he's been on a 15-year hiatus. Bernard Hopkins was never on a 15-year hiatus. So there's a huge difference there. Bernard Hopkins was always active. So if Mike Tyson could actually come back and win a world title today, that speaks volumes about this era. That means it wasn't what we thought it was. So, but Roy Jones says that, you know, he's running a huge risk getting in with Mike Tyson, and it could all end, and he's happy if that is the case, if that's the outcome. So November 28th, California, we're going to get it. Let's see how it all plays out. But drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hey, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.